G4 Studios, Scotland. All into it's time for the third podcast.
Hello and welcome to this week's one.
I just yawned there as well. It was very rude.
Aye. What's happening?
So I saw.
That was my intro, by the way.
Are we on?
Did you
Aye.
like it?
Are we away?
Aye, is it away? Go for it.
Aye, cool. The Road to UFC red gloves. I thought were very cool.
Oh, for the Asian market.
Aye, very good.
It's pretty. It's quite a cool concept. So for
I like
people,
that.
For people who don't know, they run there's a UFC PI in Shanghai, and what they do is they sort of run like an in-house show, bring in people who have got potential to try and build the market within the Asian sector, and it seems to be doing really, really well.
See, fucking hell. See, anytime I hear the word Shanghai, right, I always laugh because I used to work at a nightclub called Shanghai.
Shanghai Shuffle?
No, Shanghai in Edinburgh. That's on Bash Street. Shanghai on George Street, and we had this boy work to us. He was like brutally dyslexic. Oh, you fucker! What just happened to my volume there?
Aye, it just fucking upped a level there.
And he used to call it Shinhigi, which is see anytime that's fine. Anytime I hear Shanghai, I just
Can I go down and touch?
aye.
Hello. That's good. That's perfect there.
I just laugh at the
say
word
it again.
Shinhigi. That's he
It
just
sounds offensive, doesn't it?
aye.
It sounds.
He wasn't. He was just disabled, but it's not his fault, mate. He's a good cunt.
So did you see the fight with a chick who fucking head kicked?
And did you see her interview after? It was quite nice, mate. She was saying how she felt. She was hope she's okay, and that fucking hope she's okay. You just wrapped a shin across her
You see
head.
this, Greg, where the lassie had to be
Neck brace and everything.
neck brace and carted out the.
I never actually seen it, but I was reading about it there when I was doing a wee bit of thinking about it.
Aye, it's
No fucking about, mate. It's a real.
it's some head kick.
Aye. Came for just the depths,
Good douche, and then obviously they were as the broadcast was going on, they were keeping you up to date with how she was.
Which is what you
recovering.
want.
Aye.
Which is what you want. Like I hate thinking. We are here. I've said this before. We're here to see violence, but I didn't actually want to see anybody fucking.
How good was it watching it at a reasonable time in the morning? It was fucking brilliant.
So much better. So
good.
much better.
I think you should be pushing more of these Asian cards, Middle East cards, all these kind of stuff where we get a good rub because we as a UK and European watchers we get to watch some good shows.
We deserve a wee one back. What I told you about that Muslim Salikov, mate? Fucking spinning wheel kick. He's 40.
Who's this?
Muslim Salikov knocked him out with a
seen that.
spinning back kick, mate.
Well,
He's brilliant.
so I had seen that fight had ended with a spinning wheel kick, and I had obviously assumed it was the
Not
Chinese
him.
guy.
Aye,
I assumed it was a Chinese guy. I was like, oh, did he fucking? No, it was a Russian guy that drops a fucking spinning wheel kick.
Aye, with a beauty. His boxing's really good as well, that Muslim Salikov.
I watched the light heavyweight. I watched Ozdemir against Olberg. And
What'd
it
you
was,
think?
Ozdemir's tough as fuck. He took some absolute bleaching, man. But he was never out. He was always in. And Olberg, I think's beatable.
Do you think Ulberg started to worry a bit because he didn't get him out of there?
Aye, I think so.
I felt like he thought he's not going to be able to withstand this. And then when he did, was like, fuck, what did I do?
I mean,
I don't know what to do.
Ozdemir took some absolute shots, man. Like any man to take them and still keep standing was impressive.
It's just being bald. Just makes you 40% tougher.
But it was a very close fight, but Olberg definitely won it. He just edged it ever so slightly. But your man is see, they were giving him a huge push.
Who, Ulberg?
Aye. He trains with Izzy and type of guys.
I think they're looking at him to be the guy.
Aye,
They'd like him to be the guy, yeah.
I don't know if he's got any jiu-jitsu.
Ask him.
Because Ozdemir tried to take him down and it looked like he was like, nah, we're having none of this.
Aye.
Then I watched the next couple of fights and they were like, aye. They were fights.
They were birds fighting.
Aye.
But hey, the other lassies, they lived up to it. Peter Yan and Figgy.
Yes.
What did you think?
Just two boys fucking scrapping.
Mate, I loved it.
The two of them just tried to batter each other, but I think
Aye.
Jan just was edging every exchange. He was just getting further and further
And
ahead.
he was just a wee bit sharper, just a wee bit crisper. Boxing was very nice. I loved the scrambles, mate.
Takedown was well for Figgy in the first one. See that, like, shot on in the hips and caught with, like, the reaping knee. Beautiful.
And see, it was, you said last week, Figgy would get him out of there with the jiu-jitsu. And see, when he got to the back, I thought, oh, here we go.
Aye, here we go. I thought exactly the same thing.
I was like, oh, here we go. But it's this like 2-on-1 defence now that everybody's gone with. Like,
And it just stops him from having control.
I've had it done to me, and it is the shit. See, when someone's doing it, you're just like, oh, fucking let go.
What do we do next? Do we give Peter Yan a title shot?
Mate, I think so. But, all right, on you go, sorry.
I was going to say Sean O'Malley.
Aye. I agree.
Peter Yan versus Sean
And
O'Malley.
then they get whoever wins gets a title
It's
shot.
better, mate. It's better.
Are they not
Entertainment-wise.
giving O'Malley the
Marab.
rematch?
No,
Well, I think
because
there was a controversial decision as well with the last time he fought Jan.
well, Peter Yan and O'Malley, I don't know how, well, it was probably a bit controversial, but I don't think anybody...
Why was it controversial? I can't remember that.
it went to O'Malley, but a lot of people thought Peter Yan won.
Did it go the distance and O'Malley...
Me and you
picked
watched it together. Aye.
Whereabouts?
On a different podcast. Me and you watched it, aye. And we were both quite surprised when it went to O'Malley. But then when I watched it back with no commentary, I think it was probably fair. But I'd prefer to see Peter Yan, Sean O'Malley. I enjoyed watching Peter Yan fight. I always have.
What'd you do with Marab then?
Fuck him.
Go fire up that.
Aye, I
you know how I like to see the rankings.
Because he's meant to be fighting Umar Nurmagomedov. Seems to be the talk.
Couple of boys dry humping each other.
But so who you'd rather see? You'd rather watch Yan O'Malley, wouldn't you? It's just pure entertainment.
Good striking battle.
Yeah.
Yes. Agreed.
And they've got beef. There's a story. It's got all the WWE stuff.
So just put Jan and O'Malley on the same card.
There you go.
And
Easy.
then it fills itself in. And that is the top 4 guys all matched up.
Aye.
Good.
And Sandhagen's still lurking about there. He's very good, man. Verity.
A wee job as a matchmaker for the UFC.
I mean,
On the subject of Marab, he's been tested the most apparently.
Has he?
8 times.
When's this from?
So this
year?
was just out today. I've
This
seen
is from January
from this
or December,
year.
December, or whatever it is.
So according to updated UFC anti-doping test, the database here's a number of test sessions for current UFC fighters as of November 22nd.
So this is just the champs?
Yep.
Because I think I've been tested about that.
So it's just the champs then,
Aye, because I've been tested probably about 5 or 6 times.
aye. They're on it.
Yep.
Marab's actually commented on it if you see it, his wee eyeballs.
They must have...
Just be cool, bro.
Do you think they test them more because they've got inside information, or
I do.
Or do you think they've maybe something's flagged up in their test and they're maybe just going back to try and catch? I don't know. I'm just, hey,
I think what happens
you know what Paul likes to play?
is people get caught and they grass other cunts.
Did he?
John Jones did it.
Who did he grass?
Oh, well, that's... I don't know.
Allegedly.
Do you remember Cerrone did a podcast and he was like, hang on a minute, you did a deal though. And he was... So originally John Jones was meant to get a 4-year ban and he got 2. And it was retroactive for the fight. Is it retroactive? Retrospective?
Retrospective, I think. Is the
Sorry.
term.
I was up late last night. And Cerrone said, how did you get the time off? Who did you tell on? So remember, he was always at Jackson's as well, Donald Cerrone.
So you think it was a wee bit of
And then-
skullduggery?
And then guess who left the gym?
Jones?
John Jones. So if you're grassing up the boys, you can't stay.
Skullduggery is a class term. isn't it?
Skullduggery.
Skullduggery.
Skullfuckery. I like it. Good.
Well, look, regardless, there's still not enough people getting caught.
Maybe nobody's doing it.
Aye.
Aye, cool.
This Black Friday, G4 have got no deals. But what they've got is they've got unparalleled support As always, if you've been involved in a non-fault accident, there's only one number you need to call, and that number belongs to G4 Claim. Ross?
01698 767 172. You can also get them on WhatsApp if you didn't want to talk on the phone, and you can also get them at notatfaultclaim.com. All the links are going to be in our description.
If you have been involved in a non-fault accident, doesn't matter what time of year it is, G4 has got you covered. They will make sure you have a courtesy car, your whole claim. They will also take all the stress of dealing with insurance companies, chasing up claims, all this sort of nonsense. Garages, they do all the hard work so you don't have to, and you get 100% of your claim. So it makes sense. This Black Friday, it doesn't matter what time of year it is, hit up G4 Claims.
So in other news, we also had Leon Edwards saying that he's aiming for a title again, to reclaim a title next year.
Going to fight Jorge Masvidal in London.
That is the rumour, innit? It's nothing confirmed, but
I'll confirm it right now. I spoke to George last night. He said it's on, bruh.
Big George.
Exact words.
I mean, it'd be a cool fight, but it doesn't really do anything for Edwards.
No.
Edwards, in theory, should piece him up, like, very
Bash
comfortably.
him, eh?
But the issue is, it doesn't help him get closer towards that title. Go and scroll down, let's see the title. Who's we've got Bilal. There's a few people who are, we've not seen a lot for.
Oh, I didn't realise Leon was actually still number one contender there.
You've got Shavkat, who's fighting.
He's got a
Ian
dance.
Gary.
He's got a dance booked. Colby.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, if I'm the UFC, I want to see Leon Edwards fight Bilal.
Bilal, aye. Do you think Bilal just beat him again, though?
Well, same again. I'm interested to see that. And then you give Bilal probably Usman or Shavkat. Or it might be Ian Gary.
It might be, by the way.
Ian Gary's confident, man. I've said it for a long time. I like his fighting style. He's very smart. His ring IQ is huge.
Tremendous. See, no matter what anybody says about his behaviour outside,
it's not even his behaviour.
It's not him. He's a wee guy who's been took advantage of.
Sometimes you get that good snatch.
It does happen.
Aye, I'm down with it. So I'd happily see Edwards versus Bilal again.
But I like Masvidal Leon just for the sort of the parody. Aye, it's just interesting, eh? It just gives us something a wee bit different, but then you don't want people just teeing off on each other through the back and it gets them a fight. But I think enough time's passed now.
Aye.
That's cool. We can go with that.
Agreed.
Yuri Jamal.
I seen they've just released that. Yuri versus Jamal.
You called it.
Which would be for the title pick, wouldn't it?
The winner would have to be.
After Jon Jones has had his way.
I knew he was going to fucking... I think he's going to go a light heavyweight again, eh?
I think it'll be a catchweight for the BMF belt.
So just for the listeners, I've brought up on screen that says Jon Jones, I will be competing in 2025, more than likely.
Oh, that's good. I had a champion who fights once a year.
And stays in the top fucking rankings. I don't think it'll... I don't want to see it as a light heavyweight fight.
Who against who though?
Jon Jones versus Alex Pereira.
And you think it's a BMF job?
Aye, I think. Aye.
Smart though.
I don't really want to see Jon Jones come back and take a light heavyweight title and then just fucking hold up 2 divisions. I think it's terrible for the sport. Or he holds up 2 divisions or walks away. It's still terrible for the sport. And then all the belts are up for grabs and everybody starts scrambling. I think it's... Let's have a catchweight.
Aye, because he's not been fighting, mate. It's not been that. You do get a grace period when you're injured. Like there is that. It was a bad injury, the pec tear. There's no doubt. You do get a bit of
How long, see if you get banned for drugs in UFC, how long do you take a suspension for? Depending on what it is.
Aye. It's the maximum they can give you is 4 years.
What's the minimum? Because they gave Thingy a year, didn't they? How long did they give Khalil Roundtree get a year?
Has he got a year? Aye.
No, remember he got a year. Remember he was meant to fight Jamal Hill?
I need something in his protein. Remember he came out and said
there was a whole thing. So it was a year, wasn't it?
But they'll do it from your test, your positive test, eh?
So you potentially could be out. And you don't have to declare it anymore.
No, you don't have to tell.
You don't have to tell that you failed a drug test. All you have to do is take a...
And they won't out you.
It's a bit wild, isn't it? Because there's been a few people who have...
Taken off your long breaks.
Aye.
It's one way to do it. What do you think they should be outed?
Oh, fucking right. If
you're bank rights, it's a tough one, eh? You're not really getting away with it.
Is that right, but...
To out them?
No. They don't have to announce it.
Aye, they don't. No. So you, when it was USADA, they did used to publicly say, we've caught this person, bang, and put it out, right? But then they stopped doing that. That was...
so it's anonymous UFCs.
Aye.
So everyone's anonymous after the drug testing. That's what it looks like. I can't read that, mate.
Because it was TJ Dillashaw, he came out and said that I've been caught. He announced himself that he'd got caught for the EPO. Well, I think they should be saying.
Are we going to see Paddy Pimblett in the UK card, do you think?
Aye.
Against? Who'd you put him up against?
I was thinking about this the other day.
Do you give him a wee gimme?
Nah.
You don't?
Nah. I think he should fight somebody up there.
Like a Michael Chandler?
I think so too.
Is that what you're thinking?
Aye, what have you heard like?
I've heard nothing. But I think it'd be a good fight.
Aye, it's a good fight. It's Michael Chandler just, I don't know, his call out after the Oliveira fight was a miss for me. Looking
at top 15, who'd you give him? Who'd you give Paddy to help him boost his way to the top? Because you obviously want the...
I think Paddy's already a massive name though. Does he need somebody like have we maybe reached a stage here where he's the draw?
I thought he was rumoured to fight Moicano.
Money Moicano, he says he wants it, eh? So tell you a funny story about Moicano, right? Anytime I watch all his clips, I think he's fucking hilarious, eh? So there's a Brazilian guy at my work, he's the assistant manager. And I'm like, why is his accent so different? Like the way he speaks. He was on a podcast with Gilbert Burns and he's always like, Gilbert, my brother. And I'm like, I said the boy, Clowber his name is, I'm like, why does he speak like that? He's like, you know, like a really, really rough fucking scummy person here who speaks English. I'm like, he's like, that's him, but in Brazil. I was like, all right.
So
he must be. He was like, I can tell by the way he talks, like he's a rough guy, eh? Like, and I thought, fucking hell. Aye, Moicano is quite a good one, eh? Mm-hmm. I would see, but Moicano might battle him. And I don't know. Michael Chandler would be a good fight for him, mate. I think.
In London?
Aye. Why no?
Yeah,
mate, Michael Chandler fucks up a lot. Like he's such a great athlete, right? He's a brilliant athlete. He's a great fighter and he's tough as fuck. But he just launches his game plan out the window, mate. Like, why? Look at him in that 5th round against Oliveira. Can't could have come back and won it. And you're just like, why do you do this, mate? Why do you fight like that? That's why the fans love him.
So who else you put on this UK card in March?
I think, what you want to go like main event down?
Mm-hmm.
I think, right, mate, you ready for what I'm going to say? I'm going to come out with a fucking wild one for you, right? I think there's going to be a PFL UFC crossover.
Oh, man. You're taking too much drugs and not enough drugs.
Why do you not like this idea of Francis coming back?
Because UFC don't get into it.
Do you not think the UFC would do it just to go, we told you?
No.
And they lost so much money, right, on the... Do you remember when Francis versus Gan, this was going to be the big fight and they were all training partners and it had all this story and it just was a...
So who do you put Ngannou up against?
I think they might do it with somebody who they can sell a lot of pay-per-views on.
So you give him up against Tom.
Aye.
What if?
No, Tom's not going to lose to Francis.
No, but Francis Ngannou's got a puncher's chance. Francis Ngannou swings and say just clips Tom. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense.
And then the UFC are losing their biggest.
Aye, and then fucking he walks away.
I'm just spitballing ideas.
Like, if I'm Dana White, I'm like, nah, I'm going to let him burn.
I just feel like we're in such a weird position now with Tom. I don't know. I don't know how this gets resolved.
Tom doing it light heavyweight and just fucking clear out that light heavyweight division as well. Tom did it all. Tom, like, he potentially couldn't make light heavyweight. I'm not sure what the size, mass-wise is, but he could.
He's a big guy, but I don't doubt he's dedicated enough if he just went, do you know what else he seems like as well?
Middleweight as well? Is that what you're going to say? Fuck him, let's go welter middle. And
like, you're not listening to me at heavyweight, so fuck it. I'm going to go and do that. Like, he does seem like that type of guy. Like, he might go, because what more can he do, mate? I feel like he's done everything and he's just getting the doors shut in his face. And I didn't understand.
I don't think it is he's getting the door shut in his face.
Are they building something? Is there something going on behind the scenes that we are not seeing?
I think that there's nothing that they can do. The UFC can't do anything. The UFC cannot force Jones to take this fight.
No.
Right? Jones has got too much pull. He's got too much fucking influence. He's a big draw. He can do what he wants.
And he seems to have dug his heels in on this, eh?
Yep. And I think it's just one of these things where, because we want to see Tom fight all the time, but if you think about any other of these guys in the champion who's a champ, we don't see them fight all that much. When was last time? When did we see DDP fight? Once last year.
Aye, August.
When did we see Bilal fight last year? Once last year.
Aye.
Islam Makhachev? Once last year.
Aye.
Apart from Pereira, he's the only guy who gets to fight every other week because the UFC are pushing him and they know they can.
And he wants to do it, doesn't he?
They know they can pull all these fights. But if you are, and the same with all these other champs, like, we're only seeing them once. If you're lucky, twice.
I know.
It's just fans are selfish though, and they just want to see.
Aye, mate, you want to see.
I want to see Tom fight every week.
That's everybody. I think that's every MMA fan's gripe. You don't get to see your favourite guy enough. You want to see your favourite guy more.
Think about all these fighters. You think about how many fighters there is just in the top 15 of each division, never mind who's on the roster. So if you're...
It's impossible, really, to get them all out.
So if you go down to like the heavyweight division, like, who do you... Keep me down. There you go. Like, who do you give?
I know.
Who do you give Aspinall?
I know.
Because Gaines no on it.
No.
He's done Volk. He's done Blades. He's done 𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗛𝗘𝗥'𝗗. Is it? Pavlovich.
Tybura.
He's done Spivak. He's done Tybura. Has he fought Rosenstrike?
I don't think so.
Has he fought Derek Lewis?
No.
Has he fought... But then you look, you're way down at number. You're way down at number like 11, 10, 12.
Where Tom's going, why would I fight they guys?
Aye, unless it's
They're
just
more like
for
fights,
money.
with no disrespect to that, because a guy like Mick Parker on the come up, that's who he should be fighting.
Aye.
Tom shouldn't be looking back and going, I'm fighting they guys. Mickey Parkin should be looking forward and going, I'm fighting they guy.
So he's cleared out the division. The only person he's no fought is...
a guy who'll not fight him.
Aye, again. And then what do? Do we just run back every fight again because there's nobody else for him to fight?
I know. Do you remember when the same kind of thing happened with Adesanya? And he got to a stage where he'd like beat everyone twice. Like, what do we do now?
And then it was always that thing where it was like, oh, when Volk fights Gain and the winner gets the title, and it's like, well, we're going to see the same guy fight Tom again, and we're going to see the same guy fight Tom again and again.
Like I say, the whole thing just seems to have got bogged down into this bizarre...
I know everybody wants the Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall fight. We're not going to get it, so what's the point of trying to chase this? We should be looking at what's next for Tom.
Move then.
Why do you think there is a lack of like top heavyweights? I'm not saying they're no top guys, you know what I mean? But like,
it's size. It's just
is that purely that?
Aye.
Just look about, mate. There just isn't any big people.
So it's very hard for these guys to...
I'll put it another way. See, when you saw Jon Jones, you were surprised how big he was.
Aye, couldn't believe it.
Aye. So you're like...
Are you surprised how big I am?
Aye. But when I first sort of met you?
Aye.
Aye.
Because I think people just kind of get used to me and don't realise how big I am until they're like...
But when you seen you up against Bo Nickel, it was a bit of like, fuck's sake.
The vast majority of people, when they see me, they go, fucking hell, I didn't expect you to be that big.
Aye.
Like, so I don't see myself as being big, but when you consider... I'm quite tall in comparison to the vast majority of these guys.
Oh, mate,
light heavyweight and heavyweight.
You're quite a bit taller than me. And people say that to me all the time. Like, I'm like, you know, Paul is like far taller than I am. Fucking, it's it's when, especially because you're seeing people in pictures or on the TV. It's that thing, how big are footballers? They're that big. Because they're on the TV.
So there's not a lot of these big guys to be in the top 15, and that's the issue we're having with heavyweight. Light heavyweight's slightly different at the moment because there's a lot of movement. Everybody's wanting the title and there's opportunities for guys.
Somebody's going to have to move. That's the only way really out of this, eh? Somebody's going to have to change weight class.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to have to come up for light heavyweight or...
Big Tommy boy could just fucking do the damage.
Aye. I'd be up for that.
Black Friday is upon us, and as always, we've got your back. Why not check out Anaconda, who has got some tremendous deals for this Black Friday. And what they've got is they've got buy 2 and save 25%, buy 3 and save up to 33%, and buy 4 and save up to 40% on all supports. So why not check out Anaconda? And Ross, what other deals have they got going on?
They've got 50% off all the rash guards. And remember, with these bundles, it's mix and match. You don't have to buy the same thing. You can go and get 4 different braces for any body part, and you're going to get this deal. You also get 10% off at the checkout with Leathered 10.
Black Friday's got your back, Anaconda's got your back, Leather's got your back. Why not check out Anaconda and get yourself a couple of supports to help you in your MMA career? You're welcome.
See the Bellator fighter, that is it Deanne Silva? She was put in an induced coma due to the weight cut.
No,
She's only just come out of
hell.
there. She had kidney failure.
Wow.
I'll bring it up.
How much did she cut?
I'm not 100% sure, but
I know it's
can bring
slightly
it up.
different for women when they're cutting weight. There's a whole host of different things.
So she is going to make a full recovery, but
Wow, kidney failure. If you're interested in watching a weight cut, then Paul Craig in New York weight cut is available. The link.
so she was actually on like dialysis machines and all that.
Wow, it's such a
She's talking but has difficulty.
it's such a tough thing to do is weight cut. Where is the Paul Craig weight cut thing? Is it on
YouTube? No,
Is it
YouTube.
on YouTube? It's open to everybody.
Yep.
So if you're interested in seeing the whole process of a weight cut, it's there under the supervision of boxing science.
Do you know what? We might actually release the London one publicly now. It's been a while, so let's get that out and we'll let people see that as well, because that's a whole behind the scenes of your full trip down there.
Yep.
Didn't Jamie and Ben done a full video?
Yep. So there is this stuff on Patreon. There's all this other kind of stuff that we post in Patreon, and it's not just the extra podcast. There's other stuff there, like us away and doing stuff. We will hit up some more Leather Boys Go, but as it stands right now, if you're interested in watching that weight cut, then go there. You can see what these people going to put themselves through.
And
I'm sure there's bung guards as well.
Aye, there's the Cage Warriors Newcastle's live on the YouTube channel.
The whole weight cut process.
It's like a documentary.
There you go.
Aye, a documentary of that when he fought Perry Goodman.
So check out the YouTube channel, like, share, all that kind of nonsense.
Yes, please subscribe. We're almost at 4,000.
There's some good stuff there. There's some very good stuff there.
It's a good variety, because like we were talking about it there in the open mat with Lorenzo, people don't actually believe how strict people are. I never used to think, I'd be like, nah, they go home at night and eat whatever they want. And they fucking didn't. Like, and I think most people who, like we were saying there, you've got your normal guy and he's in his 9 to 5 job and he just goes to the gym a couple of times a week, and maybe he just goes to like a commercial gym and he chucks some weights about, like, he's got no idea what some cunts are going through.
Yep.
And I don't blame him for having no idea. It's just, it's so fucking dark, eh?
There's not a lot of people have that inside.
Level of obsession.
And you've got an access to see what that obsession looks like come the day before you fight.
So I went to get new tyres yesterday, right? So I've been up all night at work, got home, jumped on the couch, fell asleep, and then the weather was fucking awful. So I was like, I'm going to drive the wee man up to school. My car's just... So I drive the wee man up to school, takes the car over, drops it off. I'm like, I'll just come up when I wake up. I'm working night shift, so again, I'll just come get it when it's whenever. You don't need to worry about phoning me, anything like that. No bother. So when I'm driving in to drop it off, there's 2 guys out chatting, and they were talking about your fight with Bo Nickel.
Oh, were they?
Aye. And they're like arguing back and forth, and one guy's like, you don't know what you're fucking looking at. He's like, you've no idea what you're talking about. Stop talking about MMA. And I was like, that sounds like something I would say. Anyway, drops the car off, guy's sound, take my car there, goes back up, sits down, and it's like a young guy comes out and he goes, did somebody speak to you? So what I've got is the quick fit tyre warranty thing. I bought it like a year ago. You just pay a tenner, your tyre gets replaced. Only had it for one tyre I'm getting to. He's like, actually, your other tyre's no covered under warranty. And he'd already put my key on the table and I just put it in my pocket. I went, oh, so I need to pay for the 2 tyres? He went, aye. I went, nah. I was like, we'll just stick to paying for the one like we'd agreed. And he went, no, the warranty. I went, listen, buddy, I'm paying for 1 tyre or I'm just getting in the car and I'm paying for none. And he was like, I'll just get my manager. I'm like, go and get the manager, buddy. So the boy came out and he was like, no, listen, look, the warranty. I says, well, what difference does the warranty make? I'm like, you're not taking the tyres off and putting them on another car. I was like, so what difference does it make? I'm like, I was told if it's fucking any reason I can change it for a tenner. And he went, well, that's not true. And I was like, right, this is the last time I'm saying this. I'm paying for 1 tyre or I'm paying for none. And he was like, well, we'll just phone the police. So I just went, I put my head down, I just fucking phone them now. And I was just like getting into this situation again where I'm like, why is this? Anyway, long story short, boy was sound and I paid for 1 tyre. I was just like, at what point do I have to back down here? Because I could feel myself going like, am I going to, and then I was like, what if they try and stop me? What if they like block my car? Or I was like, he went, oh no, we'll put the old tyre back on. I went, no, nobody will touch the car now. And I'm just like, this has got to fucking stop. Just
finding yourself in these positions
all the time.
That you put yourself in.
I know, but then I'm like, is it maybe just people would take it? People would go, oh, do you know what? I know they fucking lied to me the last time, but I will just pay for the 2. Or are we confrontational?
Is it maybe just you?
No.
Aye, definitely.
Seems like you could be the common denominator here.
Well, I do. I'm starting to feel like that now, but I just, I thought it was funny they were talking about you at the start. That was my day yesterday, ruined by Quick Fit, but they ended up being sound. So sorry to the Quick Fit guys, I was rude to you. I get a funny feeling you maybe have seen the odd clip just going by what happened. But aye, that was my day yesterday.
My day's been spent just fucking sleeping, man.
Aye, you fucked.
Aye,
Just run down.
Aye, I was run down when I come back.
Mate, it's the plane.
I know.
See, flying. I'm never right after flying.
But then there's no reason for me to get up out of bed. So I'm just like, fuck it.
Yeah, I was fucked after the flights and I wasn't fighting.
Aye.
Like, I'll just spend another few days in bed. I have actually started doing strength, trying to put on a bit of mass.
You've been binging?
Food? Fuck aye. It's been magic. Do you know what I tried to watch? Well, I finished watching it. Because I've been eating, I can't get enough Rice Krispie Squares.
They're so good, mate.
They're fucking dead.
They're up there, eh? They're one of the
And
best ones.
I'm like, I'll just have one that turns into 6. And I'm like, but I started watching The Irishman. I've never watched it before.
All right, aye.
Have you seen it? Al Pacino, De Niro, Harvey Keitel.
How far have you got in it?
Finished it.
It was no danger, it was him.
What do you mean?
He never shot Hoffa.
But it showed you?
Aye, but who's the one we talked about him before? His old man was going with Marilyn Monroe.
Kennedy?
The gangster. Fucking.
It was sharing the bird with
Francine?
Kennedy.
Aye. He went on a podcast and went, he absolutely did not do that. He's like, I'm telling you now.
It was sad.
Aye.
Seeing it. But 3 fucking hours, man.
It's a long film.
That was a 2-day stretch I done.
It was a good film though. It was a good film.
It was very good. And I had heard a lot of negative comments about the face rendering.
Oh really?
Making them look younger and making them look older. And I was like, I thought it was good.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was as bad as people were making out. So
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
He was just a mad fucked guy with PTSD for the war, eh? So that's why he wasn't bothered about killing folk.
Fucking
There was
nailing it.
probably a lot of them cutting about. You know what I mean? Just like, aye.
I thought it was a good film.
Aye. How much did he do that? Why didn't he bother?
But the characters are brilliant, man.
Aye. They went to school beside each other, eh?
Is
De Niro and Pesci.
Did they?
Mm.
I forgot Pesci.
Mm-hmm.
So fucking good, isn't he?
I'm sure they were at school. In fact, they maybe even went to the same school, like some sort of Catholic high school. Fucking.
Who's your, what's your name? Stephen Graham. What a fucking actor. I don't think he gets enough props for being as good an actor as he is. What are you looking up?
The school thing. They did not.
No.
That could be wrong. That's just that AI thing that Google have got now. So
I trust Skynet, mate.
Go and type in Stephen Graham. Because he's a fucking actor.
Aye.
What's his like, see when you look at his like movie credentials, man, he's fucking tremendous.
He always does play like a kind
He's
of
not-
gangster
aye,
character,
he's
eh?
not in a shit film.
Mm-hmm. Snatch, he's good in that.
Aye.
Brilliant in Snatch, eh? He's got the gun that doesn't work.
The TV show Time was brilliant. I don't know if you've seen that with a minute.
Click on that.
I'm sure it's Sean Bean.
Oh, he's
as
in
well.
Greyhound as well.
Aye,
Forgot
that's
about
fucking
that.
great.
Oh, he's the
check
pure
that out.
old boy getting bullied in the Scouse jail, eh? Aye.
That's
He plays a screw.
Sean Bean.
Aye, Sean
Sean
Bean.
Bean's a fucking actor as well.
Aye, he's a screw who's not very nice.
Aye,
Right, so is that worth a wee watch? then?
Aye,
definitely.
mate.
But see, when you're talking about actors, and obviously I fucking love Brad Pitt, you never hear Stuart Graham as being like one of the greats.
Because he's like a wee guy.
Aye.
And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I think he just gets seen as like your wee brother.
He's overlooked.
Aye.
Fucking acting is tremendous.
I'm sure he's in Highwaymen as well, I think.
What's Highwayman?
Where they go and they want to kill Butch Cat. Fucking what's the name?
Is it no Bonnie and Clyde?
Aye. I'm sure he's in that.
He's great in this as
That's
England.
Kevin Costner, is it no?
Aye. But he plays I'm sure he plays a villain in it and they track him down and kill him. Oh, it's maybe Public Enemies actually,
Was he in
which is another great film. Johnny Depp.
was he in that film with other English actor, does jiu-jitsu guy I dislike?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. He's in a film with him. Outlaw? Is he an outlaw?
Yes. Aye, he's an outlaw.
And is he, I think he's fucking blammed at the end as well, isn't he?
That's a great film too.
Aye. Like, you know what? I think
That's the wrong outlaw.
aye, that's a totally different one.
Is it called Outlaw?
Mm.
I don't think it is. It's about the moonshine.
Aye.
Aye.
Is it no called Outlaw?
Wide light.
No, Shia LaBeouf.
Shia's a good actor. Fury. What a film.
We do this all the time. We get in these like
Oh, here we go.
I think it's called Outlaws, but
thought it was.
something
There
like
it's
that.
there.
Lawless.
Lawless.
New something like it.
Close.
I was close. I was close. Is he in it? Is Stuart Graham in it? Click on it.
Stephen Graham.
Stephen Graham. Gary Oldman, what a fucking actor as well. Maybe he's not in it. Maybe I've just
No,
made
I
that up.
feel like he is. I can see him as a character in a film like this.
But I maybe think it's Public Enemy where he gets
Yeah.
fucking. Is
They
Public
chase him in
Enemy where
like
he
a
gets shot in it?
cornfield and a cornfield and shoot him or something.
He gets absolutely hosed.
A Public Enemy is a great film.
I just finished watching From. If you're looking for something else, that's good as well.
What's it?
3 seasons. It's kind of like
Fire it up.
horror.
I just started watching the intro of Fury with Lewis the other day.
From Hell.
You might recognise that guy who Lost back in the day.
Lost was good, eh?
Well, the first season.
Aye.
Kind
So
of
it's-
went a wee bit.
There's people staying in a small town and you can't leave. Every time they go to leave, this road just takes them back to the same place.
Wow.
And there's things that come out at night.
Three
That's all I'll leave you
seasons.
with. 3 seasons.
What's
and
it
that's
on?
it done. No fucking about.
No, there's a 4th one getting made right now.
Ah, see, that's what they
Does that
do.
annoys you?
Aye, like,
Well,
see how you annoyed me? Walking Dead.
aye.
I was in. I was loving it. I was
Mate,
like, Rick
I was-
Grimes.
I was
fucking-
ball deep in
And then all of
Walking
a sudden
Dead,
it's
man.
like, right, we're going to do the same thing again.
Aye.
Did you like that time where we went to a safe place and then the safe place ended up becoming not a safe place?
The jail.
And then there was another guy who was trying to overthrow us. I'm like, it's the fucking same thing.
I know.
It did get repetitive.
And I was like, I'm out.
This isn't repetitive, but the finale there just leaves a lot of mere open questions for the next season, obviously. So don't watch it if it's got a push at it.
That kind of stuff annoys me.
Aye, it's
I
good.
told you I watched Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power,
Aye, the TV
the
show.
TV show. I finished it off season 2. You cannot watch it as a add-on to Lord of the Rings.
No.
It's got fuck all to do with Lord of the Rings. It's just shit's happening.
Mhm.
And
Aye.
there's rings getting made.
In New York, every time you put a telly on, it was fucking The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings on it.
On the telly, aye. Any time of the day, it's on.
It must have just been a dedicated channel.
To
Aye.
Lord of the Rings.
Which is not a bad thing.
Lord of the Rings was on last night, 2 hours, so I was flicking through the channels and I was like, fuck it, I'm watching this.
The White Hand.
Always reminds me of Christmas, weirdly, because that's when I used to go. They came
Yep,
out
they did,
around
aye.
about Christmas, and me, Grant, and my uncles used to go at Christmas, and that was our thing.
Great films.
They're 24-year-old.
Aye.
24 years old. 2001 was the Fellowship of the Ring was released.
Do you know what I seen yesterday?
2002 and then 2003.
Made me feel old. AJ from Sopranos is actually the same age as what Tony was in the first episode.
Wow.
Like now, obviously.
Wow.
So aye, that
We're
made
old
me feel a bit
we're
old.
old as fuck, aren't we?
Yeah.
We are old as fuck.
Aye.
So
What's happening in this world of rape?
aye, I wondered when we'd say that.
I didn't know if you were going to touch on it, but
Have we got time? What we got?
we're on 40 minutes now, so
Right, let's go. 20 minutes of rape. Did the individual get done with rape? Because I thought it was assault to get done with.
Let's bring everything up so that because this is rare, but sometimes I say things that aren't true.
So this happened 6 years ago.
Yes.
McGregor was partying with this chick. I'm just going to try and run through the whole fucking timeline.
Yep.
The girl ends up, for what's been said, was giving him a gam, was giving him fucking a BJ.
I think he took a beach.
A BJ in the motor going back
Right.
to the house. Then he had sex with her. There is a line which I find quite...
The 3 knockdown.
The free, like, this is how it feels like to be choked. So he's obviously choking this chick. There's bruises all over her. There's videos. Have you seen the video?
With a watch and then grabbing the tit.
No. The video where she was trying to get people to stay back and party.
Oh, I've not seen this, no.
Right, so there's a video where after this is taking place, she tries to get people to come back and party. She leaves. There's rumours of her having sex with McGregor's mate.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes and gets taken into the rape clinic where they get tested and all that kind of stuff. The evidence in that is saying it's one of the worst they've seen. McGregor is found guilty of assault for what I'm led to believe. And it's
civil.
It's not sexual assault.
It's not a criminal
I think I
conviction.
read something that there was a tampon like
Yep, she was
rammed inside her. For want of a better phrase.
She was on her periods. And your man, his mate, was meant to have wore a condom. So there was no ejaculate in her. So fucked up, man.
Ejaculate me.
That was a very polite way of putting it.
Cheers.
Conor McGregor obviously released his own sort of statement saying that he's putting it behind him and he's moving
wasn't me.
forward. And there was witnesses under oath that said that it was consensual.
I know. It's always going to be like this, he said, she says, but when you think about the world that we stay in at the moment, you're guilty. And even if you pay out of court, you're still deemed as guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think Conor McGregor is a rapist? I don't know him personally. Do I think he raped this girl? Probably not. Like, do I think Conor McGregor...
Strong, by the way.
Do I think Conor McGregor's a piece of shit? Aye. Like, we've seen this guy, we've seen him going from being
A role model.
role model to being this fucking...
Hero, man. There was even Lorenzo there saying it was Conor McGregor.
like this sort of tragic figure in the world of taking coke and all, allegedly taking coke, allegedly partying, allegedly alcoholism, all this kind of stuff that goes along with him now.
So do you think that's always been in there, but he's just the fame and the money's just kind of...
Mate, I've said this.
Loved it. Allowed it to come out.
I make this joke all the time to boys, like, the gear will make you do such deviant things, and I think he's just getting fucking fried,
What about...
bevied, and just doing bad things, mate.
Was your man McGregor's mate, was he under any sort of criminal...
Oh, was he investigated? I don't know.
Can you find out who McGregor's pal was in this point? Because there's a guy who's with McGregor who was meant to have had sex with this lassie as well.
The problem,
and I don't think he was taken to court.
The problem you're always going to have, right, is that a woman is, the second they find out that she's got a man in the house and she's decided to stay out, getting on the gear all night with a famous person, nobody's going to believe her.
because of what's happened with so many other individuals.
Aye.
When we've seen it with footballers, we've seen it with this Me Too movement kind of shit that was going on a few years ago.
She's a woman who's got a man at home who's texting him saying, no, we're just on our Christmas night out, and she's back in the hotel. I'm not saying she deserves to, I'm just like, I don't know what, I wasn't there, right? But what I'm saying is, people are going to have a hard time believing her. I'll tell you now, right?
Going to have a hard time believing women now.
If my missus say to me, I just went back to a hotel room with some boys I know, but nothing happened, you're not my missus anymore, you can fuck off. Like me and you're not going out with men fucking snorting gear on a Saturday night pretending to be at Christmas night out. No with me anymore. Like, that's a straight red card, eh? Mm-hmm. And I think any normal man, you're not supposed to say it, but any normal man would just be like, no, well, she's gone. She's history. But you're supposed to go like, oh no, she just, girls can go out and do what they want. They can absolutely go out and do what they want, but you can't go doing it with me. And I think most men feel the same way. Like, I've heard
this poor guy has to stand by that lassie and be like,
well, I've heard some stuff happen to him too. So there's a lot of allegations. Some masked men stabbed her boyfriend.
What?
All our windows in our house got put in, and our cars got set on fire.
Wow. And all that for
250,000.
250 grand. Wow.
And if she'd settled it to court, she'd have got $1 million.
I don't see anything about it, unless he's no legal.
They're just
never to
rumours.
get named. No, I mean,
Paul
mentioned his pal, but there's nothing.
I'm
If
positive.
he's been found not guilty, they'll not be legally allowed to name him, probably.
They can put your stuff up.
But I don't know if there was any legal.
But it wasn't a legal case, technically, though, was it? It was
That
a civil case.
That was a civil.
So, for what?
Right, something bad's fucking happened. Like, something's gone on. So, here's
Something
the thing.
bad in the sense of
The-
sex. She said sex to him. Do you think it's been non-consensual?
I didn't know.
If you had to,
If I had to hands do it, mate, see, we working in nightclubs for as long as I have, I would be more inclined to believe men than believe women. I've seen this a lot. I've seen a lot of this, mate.
we need to obviously have the same sort of
Rules for everybody.
aye. Where it's like, I know, but what you need to remember is some women don't want to come forward now because there's been so much of this shit.
So
because there's been women that have made claims and it's been wrongful, and then now they're fucking bringing women to like, well, we don't believe them.
Mm-hmm. And this is what worries me. I've got a daughter. You've got a daughter. I'm petrified of something happening to my daughter and nobody believes her because
So the
DPP.
DPP decided not to pursue this case in 2020 on the grounds that there was not a reasonable
prospect of securing a conviction.
So there wasn't enough evidence.
Aye, well, it's because you need corroboration, eh?
Yep.
So what chances? No, he did this. No, I didn't. That's really where you're at, eh? Again, like if you're bringing a jury in and 50% of the jury are men, the first thing you're going to say is, if my wife went out with a millionaire sports star and is in a hotel room tanning gear with him,
what do you think's going to happen?
I'm not believing her. If my missus came back and went, oh, nothing happened, I'm not fucking believing her. I've been with her 19 years, she can fuck off right now. It's just it's the whole situation is shitty. And by the way, his missus is in the house with the kids too. So let's not just say it's not a matter of boys being boys here. All sides are behaving in a manner that's not really fucking suitable.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's been bad. Everybody's doing things they shouldn't be doing. But because it's a woman, they're going to go, she should be able to hang about with whoever she wants. And she should. Yes, of course. But in my opinion, women with partners shouldn't be behaving in that way. They shouldn't be going back to hotel rooms with men.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't be going about with men. If I phone my missus and went, well, I'm just out in the car with fucking Steve. Hi, stay with him. Come and pick your stuff up now. Like, you're fucking gone. Okay, it's a weird situation we're in.
In terms of what McGregor does next, obviously we don't even know if he's got to fight anyway, but do you think this completely finishes him?
No
No
chance. The McGregor
He's obviously touched on that on the open mat, actually, about how
I've seen his likeness being removed for gyms. A friend of mine trains in a gym through in Glasgow and had a picture of Conor McGregor and they've actually whitewashed all his face off it. They took him out of the Hitman game as well.
I saw that, aye.
But listen, mate, Ched Evans, do you remember him? He done 2 years in prison. The cunt never did it. Famous footballer, lot of money, lassie swore. Tough. Tough. You know, he's also got the right to appeal. That is part of legal precedent in Ireland. He's got the right to appeal this. If he appeals it and it gets squashed and he gets his fucking dough back,
I think the damage is done a lot of the time though, isn't it?
well, aye, mate. As soon as you're accused of rape, mate, we had a pal who got accused of rape and the lassie made it up. She actually went to court and on the first day just went, I fucking made it up. I don't know what to say his name, but he still gets called the rapist by us. We call him that. And we're his friends. So what do you think people say?
Good mates, eh?
Great friends. But he never raped anyone, mate. Like I say, I've worked in nightclubs for years. I've seen so much of this. I've also seen it the other way, where a woman generally was. I worked in a nightclub and a lassie was dragged into a toilet by two guys. It was horrible. One of the most fucking horrible, full forensic tents set up, lassie fucking howling, fucking bleeding. It was just awful, eh?
Aye. Well,
I apprehended them both.
We're obviously not condoning rape.
No,
in
not
any
at
sense,
all.
and we're saying that, like, I know it's a tough situation because it is.
There's been
he
so
said,
much.
She said, and if there's no evidence where it looks like there's not, and the evidence they have got is kind of leaning towards him not being a rapist.
When the prosecution service are saying we didn't have enough evidence to convict.
Aye.
And you know, like the legal system isn't perfect, mate, but it's the best thing we've got. Eh? But then again, people are going to sit here and go, well, Ross, you've been on trial for fucking X, Y, and Z and got found no guilty, and I know you did the things. So it's no rape, obviously. I've never been, but I don't know. We can only go with the system we've got. Eh? And I think
what was it? Can you find out what the actual charge was? Because I don't think it was rape.
That's such a strong word. Eh?
I know, it's a horrible thing.
I
thought it was like assault,
sexual assault, or some sexual battery, or
I
something.
thought it
like
was aggravated assault or something.
I don't think it was.
It was there, right at the top. Sexual assault case.
But I don't think he was found guilty of sexual assault. I think he was found guilty of assault.
Mate, poor D. Devlin, eh?
Fucking what a woman to stand by him.
We all need a D. Devlin.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Good Irish lassie.
See, it's assault.
Mm-hmm.
See it?
Just assault, like there's no.
So that is just the actual.
And then that's obviously why she's only received fucking 250,000 as opposed to if it was.
So what do you think her goal was here? To bring awareness to this case?
She's went down that route, isn't she, saying that like I hope people can now go and speak out and all that sort of thing, which is a good thing, of course. But
the women do speak out, mate. They speak out so much they make it up. I'm just saying, like, what's a sad reality, mate? I've got a teenage son, and I have to speak to him about women who do this type of thing. I'm like, look, you have to be careful because the reality is there's men out there who are horrible, horrible rapist bastards, right? Mm-hmm. And there's also fucking very, very nasty women who'll say anything, who didn't give a fuck and will absolutely go out their way to destroy your reputation. You can't make this a men and women thing. It's a people thing. There's shitty people, huge amount of shitty people. And you've got to know.
See if you raise your son with good morals and good, like, he won't find himself in these positions.
This is what concerns me. So I see these nice guys, mate, these like...
Do you see them getting into situations that they can't control?
They're getting into situations which societally are perfectly acceptable and then are being called a rapist and going, whoa, what the fuck, how did that happen? I met that lassie and I took her home and we had a nice night and our boyfriend's phoned her 30 times and now she's saying I fucking held her down. That's that's how it usually goes down, mate. If you find out this lassie's got a boyfriend, I say to the young guys who work at the club all the time, I'm like, look, I know back in the day it was very normal for doormen to go home with girls who they met at the club. You can't do it. You can't do it if they've had a drink. They can just remove their consent. Boom, you're a rapist, mate. You're going to go to prison. And you are. Because the police, I've seen it happening. The police lift the guys and then they go, aye, mate, I met her at fucking what and just ran her up the road and Ken, she asked me to come in and I did. What's the problem? Aye, you're a rapist, mate. Because she's saying she didn't consent now because she was drunk.
Aye.
It's a no-go. It's like...
it's a minefield, isn't it?
Can't do it. So see, like I talked to Lewis about this, like, look, as you're getting older, as you're meeting girls, as you're doing these type of things, you've got to be so fucking careful. There's a reason you've got to stay away from hood rats, mate. It's true. You've got to stay away from these rough fucking lassies because there's no consequence.
What's the line? You can have yourself a good girl but still be addicted to them hoodwats.
Aye, Kanye West, eh?
Have yourself a good girl.
Great song.
Right, on that bombshell, mate.
Go to Patreon and discuss why bitches will be bitches. No. Listen, mate, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there.
Keep it high.